In a few words, can you tell me your definition of family?
Well, I think a family is when everybody gets together.
Loyalty, commitment.
Like, you're related by blood, but loyalty is what makes you family.
Okay. So, what is your name and where were you born?
My name is Familia, Yznaga, and I was born in Brownsville, Texas.
Okay. Who are your parents?
My parents were Paula Gomez Rocha and Pedro B. Rocha.
And where were they born?
My mother was born in San Benito, but was raised in Matamoros.
Mm-hmm.
And my father was born in Brownsville.
Okay. So, what were your parents like as a child? Like, were they strict or lenient?
Well, I know they were very strict with all three of us. Especially my father was very strict with, I thought, overly strict with my brother.
Okay. So what was your childhood like? Where did you grow up?
Well, we grew up in a street called Polk Street. I was there until I was 8 years old, and then we moved. My dad and his father built a house there, West Adams, which is right behind the stadium. And then my dad added on to the house because it was small, because it was kind of like a two-story house.
Do you have any memories of your childhood?
Really, very few. I just remember things like when, especially me, any of us that got sick, my daddy would spoil us. When we were sick, Daddy would just bring us things for us to work with, games, and they knew that I loved dolls and could sew. I started sewing when I was very, very little. I must have been like 7 or 8 years old. It's funny because he did all that for us, especially me, I guess, when we were sick. So I like to be sick. We took a lot of trips. My dad used to take us to, when we were little, we'd go in outings. I know we went to Houston a lot. We went to San Antonio, we went to Houston when we were very little. I really have memories of that when my parents took us.
What was your education like? Which schools did you go to?
I went to a private school, a Catholic school, from kindergarten through high school. Now it was all nuns. They were very, very strict. I couldn't speak Spanish while I was there, because I didn't know any English when I first started. And so it was very, very difficult for me when I first started. Even my mother, who was raised in Mexico, although born in the United States, she taught herself English so that we wouldn't have any problems learning the English language. She would speak to us in her broken English, but that was my mom. Dad, of course, always knew English.
Okay. Where did you go to university?
Yes, I didn't go off. I went to school here in Brownsville, Tennessee, and then Pan American.
What did you study?
Just regular education. That's all. But then, of course, as soon as I finished my degree in education, I went into bilingual education. Got my supervision, and I didn't stop there. Got my management right away.
Who is your spouse and how did you meet them?
Hector. I married Hector in 1959. Was it? Yes, in 59. And I met him right out of high school. Actually, I worked, my senior year, I worked in a pharmacy. I was a soda jerk. Most people don't know what a soda jerk is. It's the people that work behind the counter where you sell ice cream cones and you make sandwiches and stuff like that. And they call those, they're obsolete now, but those people were called soda jerks, and that's what I did. And how I first saw my husband, well, my husband to be, he and a friend of his came to buy cigarettes. So they came in once, and then maybe 2 months later they came in again. That's the first time I saw him. And then it's ironic that I was hired in the law firm that he was a junior partner. And that's when I got to meet him.
Did you have kids?
I had 4 children. 2 girls and 2 boys.
What are their names?
The oldest one is Patricia, and the second one is Jose Aniceto, we call him Cheto, and the third one is Daniel Andres.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like 4.5 years later, I had my 4th one, and her name is Alicia.
So, how do you feel that your parents or your childhood have made you the person you are today?
Well, I don't know. I don't know really. Since I was my own person, and I saw a lot of the other things that were going on around me, and I decided this is what I want to do. Actually, when I was very young, all I did was think, what am I going to do? What kind of person am I going to marry? What am I going to do with my life? And it worked out for me. I don't know how, but it did.
Are there any morals that you learned from your parents
So my parents,
that you have transcended onto your kids and onto?
I think more so from my mother, because since she was very good to all of us, really, and she was very, how would you say, not so much helpful, but she would allow us to do, as long as there were good things, she allowed it. So I kind of followed their example more than other, parents would have done, because I thought they were when I was growing up, I said, my parents were pretty good after all. As long as that unity is there, I think that's the way it should be. I think that's the way a family should be. I think a lot of my husband and my father as my grandfather. They told me, because they had more or less the same beliefs and the same morals. Pretty much the same.
So, what is your name, your parents' name, and where were you born?
Patricia or Patricia Yznaga.
Okay.
People call me Patty.
Okay. And your parents are Hector and?
Amelia Yznaga.
And where were you born?
Born at Mercy Hospital in Brownsville, Texas.
Awesome. So, what were your parents like as a child?
I think I have gotten from them the ability to see, either gotten from them or gotten in spite of them. I'm not sure. The ability to look at different situations, perhaps from other people's point of view, and I think that may be in spite of them. I'm not sure if it's for them or in spite of them. But the ability to do that, a sense of what they considered right or wrong, I think set the tone for what I considered right or wrong, but did not necessarily match up.
What was your childhood like? Like, do you have any specific memories of growing up in Brownsville? Or
the idea of childhood was pretty awesome. What I loved about Brownsville, which I don't have up here anymore at all, is family. We grew up with all our cousins, which is phenomenal. I wish my sons had done that, but it's not their fault. They didn't have a lot of cousins. So we grew up with all our cousins, which is great. We were close to all our cousins. Brownsville was much smaller town then, so we knew everybody. It seemed like in town, and because of my parents' work and because of their, own personalities, they knew everybody. And so it was the kind of thing where everybody knew you, which is great, and everybody knew you, which was not so great.
Yeah. Cool. Do you have any, memories with your brothers and sisters or anything, growing up in the house on Hibiscus?
Well, Hibiscus is not our first house. That's my third house.
Oh, okay.
A lot of the third house, Cheto and I grew up in. My memories of the house on St. Charles Street. And we were there until I was almost 8 years old. And so your father, your uncle, and your aunt, who was only a month old when we moved to the house on Hibiscus. That was in the spring of 1968.
Okay, so can you walk me through your education? Where did you go to elementary school and high school, college?
I'm what they call a legacy student. So I went to the same school that Lala went to, and we had some of the same teachers. And so I went to Incarnate Word Academy. I was was there from K through, I guess, K through 6th grade. Yeah, K through 6th. And then Villa Maria High School, Villa Maria Junior High School, and then high school from 7th through 9th. Went to Texas Southmost College, which is, I think now, is it still called Texas Southmost College? Again?
Yes, yeah.
Or is it UT Brownsville? Okay, Texas Southmost College while I was in high school. And then I went to UT Austin. And then I have 2 master's degrees from the University of Incarnate Word. And I have postgraduate work at University of Notre Dame.
Awesome. Why did you study there?
Where? Which one?
Or what was your general course of study, or did you switch it up?
No, my general course of study was always either English journalism or journalism English.
So, are you married? And if so, how did you meet your spouse?
I will celebrate my 37th, well, let's say celebrate. David and I will observe, because we're so tired and busy, our 37th anniversary in 2 weeks.
Awesome.
37 years. How did we meet? We met in college working for the school newspaper. My first child is Patrick Hector King, born here in New Braunfels. He was a 10-pound baby. And let's see, I really wanted to name him Patricio, but I lost that one. I know Granddaddy was really excited because his middle name was Hector. And he was Granddaddy Nala's first grandchild, so they were really excited about that. You know, the first child, the first time out, first child. Let's see, and then Alejandro was born in San Antonio in 1988.
It's like, do you feel like the way your parents parented you has influenced the way you are as a parent?
Yes, for better and for worse. I tried very hard not to be. I was strict. I tried very hard not to be unreasonable. I know I failed many times at that, but I tried to make sure that my kids knew that I really cared about them. My expectation for them is, besides achieving, I mean, if they didn't get into a top college or didn't even go to college, I would not have been upset. My big thing for them is honesty. Don't lie to me.
Yeah.
That was a big thing. I'll support them in anything they do, but just don't lie.
Yeah. It's, in a few words, can you tell me your definition of family?
Loyalty, commitment.
What is your name and where were you born?
My name is Daniel Andres Yznaga II, and I was born in San Antonio, Texas.
Who are your parents?
Daniel Yznaga and Selma Yznaga.
What was your childhood like, and what is your life like right now? Like, where did you grow up? Do you have any specific memories of being a child?
Well, I was born and raised, well, I wasn't born in Brownsville, but I was raised in Brownsville off of historic Palm Boulevard.
What is your education like? What schools have you gone to and do you go to currently?
Elementary school, I went to Kenmont for pre-K. Then I went to Sharp Elementary, then Stell Middle School, and now I'm at Veterans Memorial High School in Brownsville.
Okay. So, how do you feel your parents' parenting affects you today? Like, what do mom and dad do that makes you you?
I think they put a lot of responsibility in me. They don't force me to do anything, and that gives me the responsibility to, do my homework on my own time or figure things out.
So, do you feel like, after observing our grandparents, like Lala and Granddaddy, do you feel like Dad and Mom parent the same way as they do?
No, I feel like they're a lot more lenient than their parents probably were.
Why do you think that?
It's a different generation.
Okay. So, in a few words, can you tell me your definition of family? In 3 words, can you describe your family?
Really cool. That's 3.